When should you buy a home? That question is asked me all the time. And we have to talk about this because it could be the difference of you saving or making tens of thousands of dollars. Why do I say that? Well, because people are always trying to time markets, whether it be stock markets, gold markets, or the real estate market. People always want to do exactly what they've been told by successful people before them: buy low, sell high. But the problem with this thought process is it actually can cause some people to go into what I call analysis paralysis and stop them from actually being able to live a very fruitful life, but also a peaceful life in their mind, which could also, if not done properly, cause them thousands and thousands of dollars. So let's break down first what ideas we're talking about when we talk about buying homes. There's two types of home purchases in a real estate cycle. That is either buying rentals for cash flow opportunities, appreciation opportunities, and other great opportunities. And then there's also the place that you live. We all have to live somewhere. We all choose to either live in an apartment, a condo, a home. Some people choose to live on the streets. But the point is, it's all our own choice. And one thing that blows my mind, because most people, their greatest asset, their largest asset ever, is the home that they live in. They never go past buying their own home. And I think that's great. I think everyone should own a home, but not everyone has the ability to, or the hard work ethic it takes to buy a home and make it a success. When we're talking about buying your own home, you have to be very careful when you're trying to pick the proper timing wherever we are in the real estate market. One thing I tell people is there's never a bad time to buy your own home as long as you consider a couple of things. First off, do you have a good, steady job that you believe will weather the next recession? And I say next recession because they come every 7 to 10 years. Regardless of its size, there's a recession coming. Does your job, is it the kind that you're happy with and that you believe that you will be in the same area for a long period of time? Also, do you buy a piece of property based on a worst case scenario? I lose my job or I have to relocate. Did I buy the home cheap enough in a nice enough area to where if I have to leave due to some unforeseen circumstance, will I be able to rent it and it will not only cover my payments, but also give me a little bit of extra money in my pocket? Another thing that I want people to consider is how much you currently paying on rent. And taking that number and doing some quick calculations on some mortgage calculator online, could I afford to live in a home that I own and I'm getting the tax benefits, like from the interest that I'm paying on the mortgage, instead of giving it to a landlord and throwing my money away? See, once you start to look at things like that, it takes on a whole new dynamic. And it doesn't matter where you are in a real estate cycle. You start to see the fact that, hey, I'm paying $3 a month in rent. I could afford a smaller place, but it's my own. And then I have stability, whether I am married, single, or maybe I'm married with children. I have stability in my life. I have a new write-off that I can take advantage of. And I can do something with this later on. If I choose to move, I can rent it. If I choose to move, I can sell it. But yet most people are in the middle of analysis paralysis, just waiting for the next shoe to drop to save a buck because they can't, let's say, take a step back in life and go, you know what, rent a house right now. Perhaps I will buy a condominium or I will buy a smaller home. And they don't realize what they're missing out on. There's a lot to say for having stability in your life and having peace of mind because your payment's not changing. You don't have to worry about your landlord raising your rent because you got into a 30-year mortgage. And you know what? Speaking of mortgage, I'll throw a QR code up here to an 80% off link to Mortgage Master, where for $199, I'm going to show you how to become a bank's greatest dream, where you walk in and they go, how much money do you want and when do you want it? Because most people don't take the time to learn how to become a grade A borrower, a prime borrower. And once you learn that, you're going to save thousands of dollars on your next mortgage or even your first mortgage. But again, going back to why you should buy a house or when, it's not when you should buy a house, it's why would you want to buy a house? And honestly, it's about stability. Most people get wrapped up in the profit aspect and they don't realize that the true profit, true money, true wealth comes when you are able to not worry about where when your landlord's raising the rent? Or are you going to get kicked out and you have to go find a new place? A lot of wealth is created by people being able to freely think and come up with great ideas, the next great business, the next great promotion, things like that, when they're so bogged down with life stresses. It's time to eliminate those stresses. Regardless if we're going into a massive real estate crash, if you have a fixed payment, your payment never changes. Sure, on paper, you're worth less, your house is worth less, but guess what? Rents go up during those times too. People need to think about that. In 2008, when everybody was losing their homes, they were getting kicked out of their homes and they were having to find rentals, and rents went up because of this severe demand for people that were losing homes. Consider that during this cycle. When you step back in life, take one step back, it puts you into a position where you can leap 2 steps forward because you are living like no one today so that you will live like no one tomorrow. I hope you got something out of this. Thank you so much for watching. Real Estate Ninja is out.